You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
The views expressed by the individuals during this broadcast are their own opinions, and they may not be the same as those of their group or other organizations they may be involved with.
All medical advice during our broadcast is not a medical opinion and should be checked with your medical physician.
Good day and welcome to the Mushie Moment for Tuesday, September 17th, 2024. And as you can tell, today it's not Cindy. Please welcome John Sayer as the co-host for today. Cindy's down in Tepoztlán, Mexico, where she's learning to be a 5-MeO facilitator. And she's down there completing her program. When she's back in 3 weeks, we'll have her on the show. And in the meantime...
So explain what exactly that is, a
5-MeO?
5-MeO, what does that mean?
5-MeO is a psychedelic form of DMT. And the original version is from the Bufo alvarius toad. And it's a...
So she's not going to be chasing toads around.
No, she's going down to learn to facilitate the synthesized version.
Okay, because I just visualized her in the jungle chasing a frog.
No, they're the toads in the Sonora Desert, so it's not in the jungle anyway.
Okay,
but no, she's down there at a very well respected facilities down there in.
Now, can anybody go to this facility, or do you need a waiting list, or do you have to pay? Or
you've got to pay to take the program. It's a pretty extensive and intensive training program.
Now, can she bring her knowledge of that program up to here and do it for other people up here, or does it always have to be down in Mexico?
No, the training is down in Mexico. A lot of people facilitate down there. The toad itself is down there, but the medicine has been brought up here, and it's been helping people.
Now, is it illegal up here, or is it legal?
It's in a weird spot, but at this point, you would pretty much consider it illegal to facilitate a journey unless the journey's yours. So if you want to use it, it's legal for you to use, but it's not legal for you to use on somebody else or with somebody else.
Okay, so it's not. So it is legal here. Until the pharmaceutical companies find out about it, and then
they're already on it, and that's all. Who knows where it's going to go? At this point, it's helping people that are, suffering harsh trauma or PTSD, and it's changing lives. So people are utilizing it anyway, or facilitating it in a safe manner, because everything can be done in non-safe manners.
So it's natural. Psilocybin is natural. But MDMA and LSD are synthetic, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So wouldn't you rather have a natural product than a synthetic?
Well, there's lots of people that have both sides of both arguments for all of them.
Okay.
Right. With the when it comes to the toad aspect, to keep the toad safe and healthy so that they weren't decimated, there was a vegan that created he figured out what the molecule was, so he synthesizes the molecule out of plants utilizing the melatonin from the plants. And that's the 5-MeO, whereas the Bufo from the frog or from the toad, it has a few other analogs in there. There's the bufotine and a couple other things as opposed to just a straight 5-MeO molecule.
Okie dokie. So we're going to talk a little bit today about the history of fungus and mushrooms and different types of mushrooms, and how they interact with other things, and how they help with anxiety, PTSD, and certain other things. I've been studying about the history of fungus, and fungus and plants started in the ocean around the same time, over 1 billion years ago. But the fungus came onto land about 1.2 million years ago. They found a fossil in the Arctic that's a billion years old of a fungus. And plants have been around for about 470 million years. So the fungus was around a lot longer. And what happened was the fungus was taking nutrients out of the rocks and creating soil, which started the first plants, which was called a liverwort. I don't know why anyone would name the first plant a liverwort, but hey, I've discovered the very first plant that ever lived. Let's call it a liverwort. Okay. So anyways, yeah, a liverwort. I don't even know if livers can have warts. Are you going to look up liverwort?
I'm going to look up liverwort right now.
Anyways, one of the largest living organisms in the world is a fungus in the forests of Michigan. And 40% of our DNA is from fungus, which is a higher percentage than plants. So we are more fungus than we are plant. And the fungus fossils, I've seen some in documentaries that are over 20 feet high. And they look like giant stones, and they're pretty fascinating, actually.
Speaking of fossils, what is this behind us here?
That's a fossil. Yeah. Yeah, I found that in my backyard digging. And but I said, I don't want this to be like an infomercial, so do not look at johnsayer.com, whatever you do. Here, I'll stick that to my head.
Because you might see some of his artwork on there.
So we don't want to be like an infomercial or anything like that, johnsayer.com. So, so we're going to talk about the different mushrooms today.
Well, let's go over some of the mushrooms that are just common edible mushrooms that have the medicinal properties to them, or health aspect properties. And then we can say, hey, and that's why we put them into, our different things.
Yeah.
Like chaga. Chaga's just it's a fungus that comes from.
Oh, hold on a second here. Let's talk about the history of how we started all this. Now, we started a company over 3 years ago because we both had post-traumatic stress.
Yes.
And the company started from us fighting our post-traumatic stress. And it's grown from there. So
yes, because we both discovered independently that psilocybin worked to mitigate the issues and compress the amygdala and work on dealing with post-traumatic stress and also anxiety, also depression, the things that come along with it as well.
The way I describe it is it blocks the neural pathways to the part of your brain that has bad thoughts. That's the way I look at it. Everyone else says different things, but that's just the way I explain it to people. So let's talk about chaga. Okay,
well, chaga is a fungus that basically grows on a birch tree, and it's super hard. It has lots of melanin in it, so it's also very dark. And it's utilized. People have been utilized it for years in health aspects because it works at knocking down inflammation, lowers blood sugar, lowers cholesterol, just has a lot of gut health. It puts a lot
and it helps fight cancer.
Tumors and cancer.
Yeah. Okay. So what's the next mushroom you want to talk about?
Well, one of the ones that's really quite popular in this day and age is lion's mane. A lot of people are actually even just microdosing lion's mane, which I can understand if you're microdosing lion's mane with psilocybin and you've got them in a microdose, but at the same time, it's a mushroom, and what it does. So don't microdose it, eat it.
Yeah.
Eat it. It's a good mushroom to consume. And it works at, they've done the science to say that it regenerates brain tissue, regenerates nerve endings, regenerates the telomeres on nerve endings. It has a bunch of neurotropic factors that promotes neurogenesis. So combined with the psilocybin, a lot of magic can happen. But a lot of magic can happen with that particular mushroom on its own as well. And don't microdose it, eat it.
It helps fight anxiety.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And it's an amazing looking mushroom. It actually,
they're beautiful and white, and they can be quite flowing. And
we met a guy that grows them, and he had some raw ones, and they're just beautiful.
There we go.
Next, we're going to talk about cordyceps.
And cordyceps in nature is an interesting fungus because it takes over a host, so it'll take over different like spiders or bees or little insects, and it just basically takes over and changes it into the form of the mushroom and grows out of it.
I'm not liking these cordyceps very much. They sound scary,
but they farm them now.
Okay.
And which gives them good regulation over them, and they have amazing healing properties. Right now they're showing potential anti-cancer, anti-tumor properties. They're showing that they can reduce type 2 diabetes. They boost and modulate the immune system. They get back to resetting your gut biome.
And the shiitake mushroom, which I eat mostly with my Chinese food, which I love. I didn't know that it was strong antioxidants until we started doing the
a lot of these were just we would eat in food and not even know, and now you learn, that's the reason they're in the food. And with the shiitake, the antioxidant boosting stuff, and the way it can neutralize free radicals in your body,
and it boosts the immune system.
And more than just boosting, because they call it modulating. So if it's low, it'll boost it. But if it's spiked, it'll also bring it down. So they call that modulating the immune system, which it brings it all into a good healing homeostasis. Does that one say nerd?
Yep.
Oh, that's nice. Well, let's get on to the maitake.
I need a bigger nerd.
We'll get on to the maitake mushroom. And the maitake is another one, a lot of people have it in their food. It's one that's just cooked and eaten a lot. And it has neurotropic factors. It promotes nerve growth. Again, it's an immune system modulator, helps to reset your gut biome. And nutrition, they're just good.
You can't switch the things over because we're in the same shot.
Oh, did you draw it over? Oh, nice. Mushrooms.
Okay,
but we have turkey tail, and it's about mushrooms. And turkey tail is one of the ones, especially up here on the West Coast. You see them growing out of the side of the tree, and it's a cute little fungus. They're usually white on the underside, and they've got different colored
Growing
stripes.
up in North Van and going through the forest, I seen them my whole life. Never thinking of what they were called or whatever. I just thought they were just a fungus that grew off the side of a tree.
And that particular one is one that Paul Stamets just rants about, because that's the one he used for his mother when his mother had breast cancer. And in his videos, he outright says it got rid of her breast cancer.
If you look down at a turkey tail fungus, it grows out of the tree like this. But if you look down at it from above, it looks like a turkey tail. It actually looks like a turkey tail.
Yeah.
And funny, I seen them growing up my whole life, never thinking that, hey, that fights cancer.
Yep. Gut health, immune system booster, just absolute magic.
Yeah.
Absolute magic.
Yeah.
And then there's the red reishi, which is also called the lingxi, or the mushroom of life, or anti-aging. It's being proven to combat Parkinson's. It's being proven to fight cancer, lots of immune disorders. It's a booster modulator for the system. It's there's so much information on that in traditional Chinese medicine and Eastern aspects. That's just a absolutely huge one in there. And And that particular batch that we just went through, they're in a blend that we have available. They're in a blend that we made for ourselves, which has now become a product called Immunoblend, the Ultimate 7 mushroom. And it's blended with rhodiola, which is a plant. And the rhodiola is an anti-stress, anti-aging, gives you a physical energy, takes away mental fatigue. It's immunostimulating. It's got properties for fighting cancer as well. And then we added in raw organic cacao, which, that combined with these, it's serious magic. The raw organic cacao is a nutrient-dense superfood. It's loaded with antioxidants and flavonoids. It's being proven to lower the risk of chronic heart disease. It improves blood flow, lowers blood pressure, reduces LDL cholesterol. It's an anti-inflammatory, boosts brain cognitive function. And more than that, it generates stem cells. And I was watching a doctor. He's been on a few different shows over the last little while. I can't remember his name. But he was talking about how people over the age of 50, their stem cell growth can drop to in half. And stem cells is your cells that make everything up. Those are the raw cells that are coming up. Do I have to be muscle? Do I have to be skin? Do I got to be, what are they going to be? And by the time you're 50, they can drop to in half. That's part of what aging is our stem cell growth drops. And he was saying that 3 to 5 glasses of raw organic cacao a week can up to double your stem cell growth.
And it regulates blood sugar and enhances gut health.
Oh, it's magic. It's a superfood.
They've been using it in the jungles in South America for medicine for centuries.
And the history of the tribes there that farm the cacao, there's no history of heart disease in any of the tribes ever.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty monster thing. So we've put together a blend. It's the 7 mushroom blend with cacao and the rhodiola and those particular mushrooms.
It's like the superest superfood. It's supery superfood. Mega supery superfood.
It was the ultimate 7 mushroom blend with rhodiola and cacao.
Yeah.
But, it exists because we do it. It's a product that has been helping us. And as it's helped us, it's helped others. And actually growing out of this product came another product for pets.
Next, we're going to talk about a mushroom blend for animals, for pets. And it started 3 years ago when Steve was going to get his beloved Mika put down. She was sick, she was blind, and she was in very bad shape. So we decided, Steve decided to give her some of our CBD and the mushroom blend. And she lived another 3 years. Her eyes cleared up. The fogginess went away. I never would have believed it in 1,000 years that the fogginess in the eyes would clear up, but they did. And she lived till last month, 10 days shy of her 19th birthday. And she was a fairly large dog. So now we're helping so many pets now, and people are just ecstatic of the turnaround in their animal and the tumors going down and just the dog having more energy. The CBD is an anti-inflammatory, and then the immune boosters from the different mushrooms. And I see what it does in the pets. So imagine what it does to the humans, because I see the turnaround in the pets and how healthy it is for the pets. You don't get to see it in the humans, but when you look at the dogs and you go, okay, this has got to be helping us just as much, but we don't see it. So anyways, there's
no placebo effect with the dog.
Yeah, that's right.
So when you see the results, and this mix came about because of the using the CBD, because to begin with, I gave her the same CBD I was using. And, I've told this story on the podcast before. And, she was down. She wasn't able to get up and go to the bathroom. And I booked somebody to come and put her down. And my buddy said to me, have you tried CBD on her? And I said, no. He told me, hey, they've got an endocannabinoid system just like people do, and it works like people do. And it's imperative to their healing. And he said, why don't you try some CBD? And I was like, well, how much should I do? He said, well, do whatever you use for yourself. You're going to kill her anyway, so try the CBD.
Going to put her down.
So, no, he said, you're going to kill her anyways, which, it rattled a bell. And it was like, well, yeah. So I did. I gave her, I gave her 1 milligram of 1,000 milligram CBD, and I gave it to her 3 times a day. And the day before they came to put her down, I woke up and she was standing at the door. And she was shaky, but she was standing there. She hadn't been able to get out of her bed. So I let her out, and she went pee, but she was shaky, but she was standing there. So I phoned and I canceled them. I said, hey, I don't know how much time I'm going to take, but I'm going to use anything that I get. And then I went, well, if the CBD works on the dogs, what about the mushrooms that we use? So I started to go down and do different searches. And when I did the searches on the mushrooms, I put in for canines and for dogs and published studies. And, what it came up with was a lot of the same things. And we'll go through them because we spoke about what Chaga did on the last batch. And that was what we found for people. When I went down the research for dogs, it again showed that it had anti-cancer potential, that it regulated the immune system. It was an inhibition of cell mutation and cell proliferation. Well, that's, what is cancer? It's a cell mutation and cell proliferation of that mutation. The same with cordyceps. It was anti-cancer, anti-tumor. The cordycepin can induce the death of cancer cells in the organs.
And this was a great thing for me because I don't like people and I love dogs. So this was a big thing for me because I'm not a people person.
Yeah.
Right? So
and again, we didn't make this to be a product. We made this to help my dog. Yeah. And it did. It helped her so much. Like we ended up putting together, I was giving her the 7 mushroom blend, and John noticed the changes in her and was going, hey, you got to share this. And he had some friends with some older dogs. So we shared some of the product. And one of them actually is the reason that there's in this particular product, there's a freeze-dried, shredded, and powdered beef liver. And it got added in because.
And then you met your friend at the dog park at McDonald Beach.
This is before that.
Oh,
this is when the liver gets added into it. Because when I first make it, it's just 7 mushrooms for Mika. And then one of your friends had a dog that wouldn't eat it, and they were like, "Well, can you put something in to stimulate them eating it?" And when I did a bunch of research, you can get right now. There's freeze-dried liver. There's freeze-dried chicken. But the liver was, and the fish one. But, the liver's heavy antioxidant. It adds flavor. It adds vitamins. It adds iron. It adds B vitamins, protein, copper, zinc, phosphorus. Like, it had a lot of benefits. And I was paying to buy a product because my dog was already 16 and old and her joints were a little stiff. I was paying for a joint product. So instead, I just got the glucosamine, chondroitin, and the MSM for the joint health and added that in. So this has got the 7 mushroom blend. It's got the liver. It's got glucosamine, chondroitin, and MSM.
Eventually, me and Steve are going to have our own podcast. And my nickname was Sweet Pea, and his nickname was Mayhem. So we were either going to do Sweet Pea and Mayhem, or Mayhem and Sweet Pea, or Mayhem and Sweet Pea. But I don't know. I think it should be Sweet Pea and Mayhem. But, whatever. So Sweet Pea and Mayhem. Look for it.
And on that note, this is a perfect time to go to a sponsor break here on paceradio.net. We'll be right back. Thanks for hanging. You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
Legacy 420 have an awesome array of cannabis-infused beverages, from pop to Nature's Nectar's teas, all in amazing flavors. What a selection! We even have a delicious mango-infused juice, and let me tell you, it's delicious.
Everything is infused in-house, so we buy our syrup from, the same place where everybody else buys their syrup for their pop, and the infusion is done in the lab. It's all canned here, labeled here, produced 100% on Tyndonega.
We have 2 lines of drinks. One is called our Nature's Nectar. That was our original line that we came out with. And then we also have a line under the Red-E brand. We have them in 10 milligrams, 30 milligram, and 60 milligram cans.
What a great selection for a get-together with friends or after a long day. Remember, if you want to wet your whistle with on-site lab-tested products, come see your trusted partner. Legacy 420 out on your road.
Camelford Lifestyle Shop. Open Monday to Friday from 10 till 7 p.m. or by chance. Check out our flags, our t-shirts, plus our hats, and look of that supply of rolling papers, plus much more. We've got bongs and your favorite herbal vaporizers. Look at all the incense we have, as well as for those who collect knives, check out these knives in our collection. And while you're here, stop in to see Shay at the piercing room, where you can get poked by Shay. Daily deals, check them out. Camelford Lifestyle Shop, 17 Bridge Street West, Camelford, Ontario. Limestone City Hydroponics is Kingston, Ontario's hydroponics shop. Take your growing to the next level and create the optimal environment with a tent kit, or maximize your yield with an ebb and flow flood table kit. Either way, Limestone City Hydroponics has more sizes and options to fit your needs. Are you looking for the power of the sun that adapts to your budget? Then look no further, as they have professional grow lighting. They have indoor grow systems that are easy and cost effective, with many options to fit your living space and lifestyle. Cultivate your growing potential. We have everything you need to succeed. And if you can't make it to the store, they offer local delivery to the greater Kingston area. Remember, when you're looking for experts to help you grow, then look no further than the locally owned Limestone City Hydroponics, 105 Sunderland Drive in Kingston, Ontario. Call them at 613-548-0420.
at-eze.com, at-eze.com, for all your microdosing needs. You need information, you need supplementation, you're tired of anxiety, PTSD, depression, at-eze.com, at-eze.com, for all your microdosing needs. Made by PTSD sufferers, for PTSD sufferers.
You're listening to the Pace Radio Network, here at paceradio.net.
And we're back with you live here at paceradio.net.
So, Sweet Pea and Mayhem, look for it. We're going to be having our own podcast, interviewing people that we've helped, interviewing different people, and it should be exciting. And of course, you're going to have my sense of humor with his nerdiness. So it should be a perfect
my sense of humor with his nerdiness.
Should be a perfect combination. Look, Cindy, I'm using your pen you gave me. I love it. I love it. So anyways, I use psilocybin to sleep. And I decided to try our at-eze original blend to try and sleep. And it did the opposite effect to me. So I went to Steve and I go, look, this is not working. There's something in this that's not helping me sleep. So I think it was Siberian ginseng.
Yeah.
Found out was a stimulant. So we took out the Siberian ginseng and added a few other things that help with sleep. And we came up with an evening blend microdose, which helps you sleep. Now, me, myself, I'll wake up in the middle of the night and my brain's going 1,000 miles an hour, and I'll just take a bite of chocolate, psilocybin, and then chew a little bit of gum to get it out of my teeth. And then boom, I'm 10 minutes later, I'm out for 4 or 5 hours. But the evening blend really helps with people that just can't sleep. And there's reishi in it. The same one that fights the cancer and the immune system. So not only does it help you sleep, it also helps you fight different cancers, and it helps with your immune system, a massive immune booster.
Yeah, it has some of the main mushrooms that are utilized in the 7 mushroom blend. Because of their healing abilities that they have. Also, they tend to help reduce anxiety in the system, because as the system in the gut biome gets reset, it just takes a lot of stress out of the system. So, this particular blend has got it's got reishi, it's got the lion's mane in for the neurotropic factors and the nerve growth, neurogenesis. It's got the chaga for, the lowering of the blood sugar, the anti-inflammatory, the anti-cancer, resetting your cholesterol for type 2 diabetes aspects. It's got shiitake, it's got the turkey tail, it's got maitake. Then it has 0.11 or 110 milligrams of golden teacher psilocybin. It's a psilocybin cubensi. And that has neurotrophic factors. It helps the brain with its neurogenesis. It combats depression, anxiety, helps with anorexia. It helps with addiction. It helps with PTSD. Because it allows the brain to self-heal, or the neurogenesis aspect of the brain. It helps if you have post-concussion syndrome, if you've had a stroke, same with the PTSD aspects. So, that's really what the microdosing is of that. And then everything else is just things that help further along or get you to a destination of that microdose.
Well, kind of the way I think of it, remember I was talking about how it blocks the neural pathways to have bad thoughts?
Yeah.
Well, I think it helps you sleep, because you're not having any bad thoughts. You're not having any nightmares. I don't know. That's just my theory.
Well,
but,
and it helps heal damaged brain areas. And sometimes when you're dreaming, you can go through the damaged brain areas, which is a different part of your brain you're using when you're sleeping than when you're awake. So these particular ingredients allow the healing of the pathways to happen, as well as, it's got things like spirulina and GABA and magnesium L-threonate, so that it just brings the system down, puts you into a nice, better, calm. And
ashwagandha, what is ashwagandha, a plant or a fungus?
It's a plant.
It's a plant. Okay.
Yeah, and it's neuroprotective. It's heavy antioxidant. Anti-anxiety. It's an anti-Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. It's neuroprotective.
And the GABA, what is it? GABA's a plant too?
This stuff is derived from a plant. Yes.
And all these things help you sleep.
Yes.
Now, do they help you sleep because they help with, what's that one chemical that people take to help them sleep?
Melatonin.
Melatonin. Does any of it have melatonin in it?
Well, they help your body develop its own melatonin.
Okay.
We tend to take a lot of melatonin, but our body should be, creating the melatonin and utilizing our own system to create the dopamine and the serotonin to make things better in our brain. And these actually, they do that. Like the magnesium L-threonate, it enhances synaptic plasticity in the brain, crosses the blood-brain barrier, and supports restorative sleep and neurological health.
And the magnesium prevents neurotropic pain in chemo patients.
Yeah.
So, pretty amazing stuff. But anyways, that's a evening blend.
which is also a added calm. Some people like it. Like I myself actually like this during the day. If I just need a little extra added calm, I'll go with these. If I've got enough energy, I just need calm, then I'll take one of these rather than like one of the main events or the Scoobies.
Yeah, for sure. Now, if you don't know the history of how we started microdosing and started a company that does microdosing, it's from me and Steve having post-traumatic stress. And that's how we got together and made a product. Steve came up with the formula.
You were already doing the chocolate mushrooms. You were already.
Well, I was microdosing for I've been microdosing for I think 12 years from my first time. I'm on my fourth defibrillator pacemaker, and I was defibrillated over 50 times while conscious, and it gave me post-traumatic stress big time. So if my heart acts up, I used to just freeze up and go into shock, and post-traumatic stress just took over everything. And if you don't have it, you can't explain it really. It just, I consider myself pretty strong mentally, and when it comes, there's nothing you can do about it. It comes with a vengeance, and it comes, and you're there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. So microdosing has really helped. We seem to have two different types of post-traumatic stress, where mine seems to be a little different than Steve. So I guess there is different types of post-traumatic stress. Mine comes on by an event in my body, where Steve's is more of an event that comes along more mentally.
Yeah.
So
whatever the trigger.
Yeah, whatever the trigger or whatever. So my life has changed immensely because of microdosing, and it's I don't do like a big amount all at once like I used to, and just reset everything in one. Take a gram or two of mushrooms and just get fried and reset the brain. I don't do that anymore. I microdose now, and it helps a lot.
Macrodosing has its place in healing, but microdosing is a whole different thing, and it's not about doing because I see a lot of arguments online about people, microdosing is a waste of time. No, microdosing is a slow and steady aspect to healing your brain and becoming aware of
that person. That person is probably, I know that 25 to 30% doesn't work on the mushrooms. And I think a lot of people that I've seen that it hasn't worked on are taking antidepressants. So I've noticed that the mushrooms don't work if you're taking really heavy antidepressants. That's my theory anyways.
Well, it depends on what they're trying to do.
Because I've had people
detox off using the mushrooms to get off of the antidepressants.
But the person that said, they're a waste of time, probably,
he's saying microdosing because he's looking for something loud. He's saying, right. You got to macrodose because he's looking for loud and trying to hear loud. But microdosing is a slow and steady thing. Yeah. And, it's got lots of science behind it, what it does to slowly heal and repair the pathways in your brain and to reduce triggers, to reduce compress the amygdala generation so you don't go into the fight or flight. You're not living in that heightened awareness state all the time, because that's what PTSD tends to do, is put people into a hyper awareness, hyper vigilance.
Now the blend contains, I think, 8 or 9 or 10 different types of mushrooms and plants.
The original blend? Yeah, the original blend was the 7 mushrooms with golden teachers, which became an 8 blend there. And then it was ginkgo biloba, ashwagandha, bacopa monnieri, and Siberian ginseng.
Which is what we took out of the evening blend, because that was a stimulant.
Yes, and we added a couple other things in.
To the evening. And I noticed that when I do the original blend in the morning or whatever, it's not speedy, but it makes you want to do stuff. And I don't know, it's not like a stimulant like speed or meth or anything like that, but you take it and you want to do stuff.
Yeah, it's more of a mental stimulant. It's not like a caffeine body stimulant. It's
That's
more
right.
of a mental stimulant.
I find,
That's when I first put that together, that's what it was designed to do, because I would go and just stay in my room for hours on end being in PTSD crap, just dark places. And when I need to stimulate my brain in a way that it'll heal. So a lot of the ingredients are because of their healing properties. And then, the things like the ginkgo and the bacopa moneri were specifically in my thinking put in there because they're added calm, they're added focus, and their clarity. But more than anything, you get mental clarity and focus with body calm, right?
now is ashwagandha a hallucinogen?
No.
Okay. It sounds like it should be.
Yeah. No, but what it has for the health things, it ended up in there not so much because of the health aspects that I learned about later. It ended up because it worked for fighting anxiety, and it was proven to be helping with PTSD and Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. So that means it's a neurotropic that works on healing the brain. So it was like, okay, well, that's got to be in there because one, there's lots of research on it and showing what it does, and two, it's a mental energy, but it can also be well, that's what it is, mental stimulant. So it also helps to give you that, I feel like doing something today. The Siberian ginseng was added in. Now that's actually, Siberian ginseng's a different type of a ginseng than a lot of others. And some say it's actually not even truly a ginseng. But what it does for immune support, mental energy, and cognition, what it does there was massive. So in the daytime one, I needed that in because I also not only needed mental energy, but I needed some physical push to get out of and do stuff as well. So that was added in, which is why for the evening one, we had to take it out, because that was part of the push to get out and get doing things. Now that original blend, when I made that and was using that, I used that for quite a while. But as I kept doing research, I realized, those other mushrooms, the Veracity, the cordyceps, the chaga, shiitake, the turkey tail, the lion's mane, the cordyceps, those mushrooms, you don't need to microdose them, which is why the powder came about, because then we can macrodose those, and that removed a lot of room out of some of the capsules. So, that's where I went after the original blend came out, the main event blend.
Yeah.
JohnSayer.com for incredible art pieces.
And
like this.
I will not promote myself. Okay, so we're
as we're doing a huge ad for at-eze.
Yeah. Hey, but you know what? The more people that microdose that have anxiety problems, the better the planet's going to be.
Yeah, and you can just gather you don't have to use ours. Just gather the info and use what works for you.
Only ours works. The other ones, nah. But I notice anything you can grow yourself is illegal. Now, is that the pharmaceutical companies paying the government money to? But anything that we can grow ourselves seems to be illegal. Well, pot's legal now, but
you can grow 4.
Yeah,
just
4 plants.
Grow your 4 plants and be nice.
Yeah, make brownies. You can make brownies, I guess, but you won't get the just straight CBD if you do it that way. So, because a lot of people they don't want the THC, they just want the CBD. So But you think
well, now even for the sleeping, people are looking for the CBN. They're going, oh, the CBN is what really helps.
So that's what they get with the gummies then. That people like to take the gummies to sleep, it seems.
Well,
But,
the gummies have both CBD and THC in them.
I tried it.
Gummies,
I tried it once, and I woke up in the middle of the night with total mung mouth and
way to promote them.
looking for water. I was it's bad. I had total munchies. I think I ate everything in the cupboard and then went back to bed. So
edit.
But and then there's one that has quite a bit of lion's mane. It's a main event, and it's the calmer, I think, of.
It's the one that has more of the real, actual nootropics, not just the plant adaptogens. Because here we step into the alpha GPC again, the magnesium L-threonate and the L-theanine, and you know this particular blend, because it's also got niacin in it. This particular blend, I find for me was the next level. You know, I used the original blend for quite a while, but when I started using this, I also was taking more of the mushrooms just as a regular supplement. But what I found here was this brought me a lot of calm and focus. This quieted a lot of my brain chatter. This particular one has been magic for me, and it's, you know, one of the main things in it is lion's mane. It's lion's mane again with the 110 milligrams of golden teachers, but you know, and then it's got the Bacopa moneri, it's got guarana, spirulina, and gotu kola. So those are the adaptogenic plants that are in there. And gotu kola alleviates stress, anxiety, depression. It's an antioxidant. It's neuroprotective. It improves memory after strokes. Spirulina is an antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, anti-cancer, anti-diabetic, repairs damage from oxidative stress, which is the main cause of cancers, regulates the progression of various cancers. Guarana is an anti-cancer, neuroprotective, anti-anxiety, reduces chemo fatigue, stabilizes weight, increases appetite, increases heart health.
So how much is there golden teachers in main event? Because I know the regular blend has 0.1.
All of our blends are 0.11,
okay,
except Scoobies, which is 0.25.
Okay,
that's the strong one. For
been giving those to people that are having drinking problems, and the Scoobies seem to help. There's a few people I know. I would never drop any daughter's names, but she knows. But yeah, it really helps with not drinking. So if you go out, you can do a Scoobies, which is a 1/4 gram of psilocybin, and it really helps with people that are trying to get off of drinking.
Yeah,
and
I've got people that are utilizing that and the 1-to-1 at the same time, and they're
so the 1-to-1 is 1 part THC and 1 part CBD.
Yeah.
Now, how do they?
If they did 1 milligram, like a 1 mil dropper of that, they'd be getting about 16 milligrams of THC and 16 milligrams of CBD.
Yeah. Okay. So the CBD is an anti-inflammatory. Now the THC, what is that?
Between the two, they ignite your CB1 and CB2 receptors, and because they go in through the gut, they ignite it through the gut, they ignite it in your liver, they ignite it in your kidneys, which help to put your body into a healing homeostasis mode. When you have the equal amounts of CBD to THC, the THC doesn't seem to get you as stoned as much, because some people can get pretty high off.
Well, see,
so dosing is a lot, and the reason it's in that it's
Yeah.
mixed with the the MCT oil, monochain triglyceride, or coconut oil with the bad fats removed. And they call that a brain fuel.
Yeah.
And it's mixed in with that so that you can actually dose it. Because some people, like I've worked with people where 3 drops, that's it. They take 3 drops of that, which is
see, I don't like
maybe
THC. I don't like
3
THC,
milligrams.
so I'm just a straight CBD. And because of where my amputation is on my leg, the nerve is, I have lots of problems with my nerve and phantom pain and stuff. And I find the CBD with our friends, what's it called? The anti-inflammatory,
the Inflamaclear.
Inflamaclear with the CBD has really helped with my pain before. Like when I go to bed, I used to have all sorts of real problem with my stump trying to sleep. And it's helped quite a bit. That my nerve doesn't seem to be as aggravated as much. But if I sit in my wheelchair too long, or I sit in my scooter too long or anything, it's still very painful, but it's not like it was. And I guess we'll have a show about Cease's stuff, all the stuff he uses naturally to heal.
Yeah, we've got it available on the website. We're just low on product right now. He's got to get some product built up.
Yeah, and we're going to have a booth at the Psychic Fair next Sunday on Triangle Road, and it's a bee farm, actually, and it's my friend who reads tarot cards. She's putting on the Richmond version of the Psychic Fair. And there's going to be lots of booths and lots of people and a food truck next Sunday at noon. So I think it'll be a lot of interesting people there. That's for sure. If you like interesting, that's the place to go.
And come and say hi. We'll be there.
Yeah, we're going to have a booth with our products there. More like infomercials kind of stuff. No, self-promotion stuff, But
no,
none of that.
Self-promoting.
None of that. But we're going to have a booth there. So if anybody wants to try microdosing and is interested, come to the Richmond Psychic Fair next Sunday.
And say hi.
Yeah. Now the place where it is a bee place, I've never been there. Bees Knees or Bees something on Triangle Road. But I've seen pictures of it. It looks like a pretty cool place. And he's a bee farmer, and he helps put this on every year, the Psychic Fair. That's my plug for the Psychic Fair next Sunday. And I guess,
Is it on Facebook? Can they look it up on Facebook?
Yep. Yeah. And I'm going to post it on my Facebook and then tag everybody or whatever. So it's going to be on my feed.
Okay, so I'll share it under the Mushie Moment.
Group
as well.
Richmond Psychic Fair, and we're going to have a booth there. So that should be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully we get some good weather. I think we're supposed to. And if you like crystal balls and psychics and people getting their future read and palm readers and jewelry and clothes and a food truck, it should be fun. It's the first time we've got a booth there, so I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be pretty cool.
I'm pretty psychicked up about it.
Hey, I predict you're going to be there.
Oh,
Psychic. It's a gift. It's a gift.
Oh, or a curse, depending on which side of the table you're on.
Oh, yeah, well. So don't forget to vote. Sweet Pea and Mayhem, or Mayhem and Sweet Pea. Yeah. I'm called Sweet Pea, my nickname, because I have them tattooed all the way up my arm up to here. And Gary Winkler started that rumor about the Sweet Pea. And then Mayhem, well, that's self-explanatory.
What's funny is if you look at the if you look at the avatars, you go, oh, that guy's got to be Sweet Pea, and that guy's got to be Mayhem.
Yeah. We did like that movie Switch, you know? Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So, are we going to talk about anything else? Or once again, thanks for the pen, Cindy.
Yeah, she should be having some fun down there.
Yeah.
I know she sent me some pictures today, and she sent me some pictures yesterday, and we chatted yesterday. She was
Now, is
pretty
Cindy
excited.
coming? Is Cindy coming to the Spirit Plant Medicine Conference this year?
Yeah, yeah,
Good,
she's going to be there for the spirit.
Because she helped. She took my place on 2 of the days, which helped us immensely because I can't sit in my wheelchair for 3 days straight. So I did. I think I worked. No, I couldn't even work half a day. I just couldn't take it anymore. So Cindy took my place, and she did an awesome job. I couldn't have think anybody better to take my place. So that's good. That's good news. And we might see if maybe my daughter can take a day for me, like Sunday or something. It's a 3-day. It's all to do with natural healing.
Spirit Plant Medicine Conference. There's a lot of great information there. They bring in some great speakers. Last year they had Paul Stamets and Gabor Mate. This year they've got Akasha Lewis and a bunch of others. It's just amazing. I absolutely love being there.
And it's cool seeing all the natural medicines too that have been around. You know, there's a tribe from South America there doing artwork, and people from all over the world with natural healing.
Yeah, which is all different forms.
Which has been around since we've been a species.
Well, when you go there, you get to learn how long some of them have been around. And it's absolutely amazing.
But they've got carvings in South America that are 9,000 years old of mushrooms. So the tribes in South America have been using mushrooms since they've been using medicine.
Well, there was a point I think it was about 10 years ago where they said that 85% of the medications in circulation in North America had been driven from a plant in South American jungles.
And they're slicing it all down. I looked at, I don't want to be a downer, but I looked at the Amazon basin on Google Earth a couple of weeks ago, and it was depressing. And then I'm thinking, okay, well, let's do one of BC. And Vancouver Island looks just as bad, if not worse, than the Amazon. So who are we to sit there and bitch about whatever? There's my rant.
Well, on that note.
Well, I'm a left-wing atheist tree hugger, so.
I try not to put any labels on.
I do. So, so that's about it. And then what are we going to do next week? Are we going to have someone on, or?
Well, I've put out for a couple of different guests. We'll see who we
$5 says I can make them cry.
$5 for me if you make them cry, or
from laughter, or I just go like this, boink,
boink, and they cry.
Yeah.
Yeah, at this point, I'm not sure what we have coming on for next week. It's always a beautiful and pleasant surprise.
Yeah.
But for now, thank you for joining us here on the Mushie Moment. And we look forward to John's blatant self-promotion at johnsayer.com.
I'm going to have a bigger sign next week, I promise.
Because, I wouldn't want to do any blatant promotion for www.at-eze.com. Where you can watch the documentary that we were both in I don't know, quite a few years ago now.
Psychedelic Frontier, I think it was.
Yeah, Psychedelic Frontier.
2000 and I don't know.
I go back and I watch it.
I
go in and I watch so that I can see where I was then to where I am now.
You're totally different. Because it took me 2 weeks to talk you into just going on the documentary, and you didn't want to do it. And now look at the garage. Now it's changed since we shot in here in my living room. Oh, and my kitchen making chocolate.
Oh, don't tell them it was in a secret clandestine lab. Remember
Yeah.
they said that in the
that's right. As a drone flies in my backyard and comes to my kitchen window. Yeah, okay.
That was awesome. But it was life-changing. It definitely changed my life. It introduced new people. Cindy sought us out because she saw us in the documentary.
Yeah.
And,
people from all over the world.
Podcast. Yeah. People from all over reached out, and the amount of healing that we've been able to share and be privy to, people just fucking hugging and crying and thanking. It's just absolutely amazing for themselves and for their pets. It's just been a beautiful journey, and I'm proud to be walking with you, brother.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. So on that night, hey, thanks for hanging with us at the Mushie Moment on paceradio.net. Thank you to all our sponsors. And we'll see you next week.
You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
The opinions of the individuals during this broadcast are their own, and may not be the opinions of their group or other organizations they may be involved with. All medical advice during our broadcast is not a medical opinion and should be checked with your medical physician.
When you have a pain that's reached its peak, Legacy for 20 is so unique. If organic cannabis is what you seek, here's your trusted partner 7 days a week. Suppository salves, vapes and drops, topicals, edibles, infused pop. Just when life seems like it ain't easy, at Legacy 420 enjoy a pop freezy. Lab tested products make them the GOAT. Legacy 420 out on your road. Legacy 420 in Tyendinaga Mohawk territory. Indigenous organic cannabis at its finest.
Enjoy the buzz of legalization with Campbellford Lifestyle Shop. From lights to plant nutrients, books, consumption accessories, and more. We've got all your basics to grow or consume cannabis. Visit our info center or take a look at our piercing services and body jewelry, now available in-store through Campbellford Lifestyle Shop. 17 Bridge Street West, Campbellford.
Limestone City Hydroponics is Kingston, Ontario's hydroponics shop. Take your growing to the next level and create the optimal environment with a tent kit, or maximize your yield with an ebb and flow flood table kit. Either way, Limestone City Hydroponics has more sizes and options to fit your needs. Are you looking for the power of the sun that adapts to your budget? Then look no further, as they have professional grow lighting. They have indoor grow systems that are easy and cost effective, with many options to fit your living space and lifestyle. Cultivate your growing potential. We have everything you need to succeed. And if you can't make it to the store, they offer local delivery to the greater Kingston area. Remember, when you're looking for experts to help you grow, then look no further than the locally owned Limestone City Hydroponics, 105 Sunderland Drive in Kingston, Ontario. Call them at 613-548-0420. We are people advocating cannabis education here at Pace Radio.